welcome to the Free Cheese episode 312. I'm your Joe Dix, joined by Matt Sellner.
Hello.
Marc Augustiniak.
What's up?
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. Or as I like to call it, one more obligation that pulls me away from Fire Emblem Three Houses. You got work, you got sleep, you got podcasts you do once a week. Just little things getting in the way. You gotta get your oil. Well, the good thing about getting your oil changed is take the Switch with you. You keep on playing Fire Emblem. Am I right? Or am I right? How are you guys doing this week?
I don't know how to follow after that.
I'm Fire Emblem. How's it going? Get situated here. Having a pretty good week? I'm having a pretty good week. You having a pretty good week? How's your week? You're silent.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, just fine. Fine, just fine.
Great weekend of wrestling.
It's true. Kicking off the weekend of wrestling with, of course, Free Cheese Wrestling Deception.
Yes.
Live now on thefreecheese.com. If you've not been watching our Free Cheese Wrestling shows, come on, get it together. This one's taking a dark turn, which is fine, because I choose the darkness above the light. It's the same damn thing in the end. However, we'll put this out on record. Matt cheated. I want to see the tapes. I want to see those character skills. I want to see the points. I want to see where you went in and you handicapped everyone that Mark and I would play as, and you buffed everyone that you play as.
The only character I've ever buffed in that game was Chris Redfield, because he was a 49 overall when I downloaded him.
I mean, this is a dude who punches boulders. If anyone gets a buff, it's him.
And he got a buff to 99 overall, which is what like 80% of the cast has.
Mm-hmm.
I don't touch anyone.
How about Donkey Kong? What'd you give him? Because he won every single goddamn match for like 6 months.
Well, no.
I didn't buff him at all. I didn't nothing.
He's had a loss before that.
That's true. Anyway, no spoilers on Deception. How's WWE holding up these days? Still,
It's turning around. Well, I'm more excited because they re-record Saturday night NXT Takeover.
Mm-hmm.
They're I would say this in air quotes. Their minor league division.
Right.
Having their show, but their shows are always better than the actual pay-per-view event. So I'm excited for that. And then SummerSlam was Sunday.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long night again. It's gonna be one of those 5-hour, 6-hour shows.
What was the last paper? Because it's been downhill since WrestleMania, right? WrestleMania was real good.
Yeah, that was.
And now.
Yeah, Vince just took a shit on creative, storylines, whatever. But he's recently hired executive producers for the shows. Now Vince still has a hand in the creative, the stories, but Paul Heyman is in charge of Raw, and Eric Bischoff is about to take over SmackDown again.
Okay.
Now Paul's had a hand in creative for a few wrestlers like Ronda, Brock. He controls some of that. He's had a hand in a couple other things that are currently ongoing, but Raws have slowly gotten better as he seems to be writing out of the dumb storylines they got to get through that they started. But we'll see. Hopefully after SummerSlam, refresh button.
Would you say that you could hit that refresh button early with Free Cheese Wrestling and get a better experience? Unbiasedly speaking.
Well, I'm just saying, like, don't hit the refresh button because you'll start over. We don't need to hit the refresh.
We don't
because we're long-term booking.
Got a good storyline going on right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, viewers can feel free to refresh and just keep watching.
That's true.
That's fine.
Share it with a friend. If you have a friend who likes wrestling, show them Free Cheese Wrestling Deception. Had a lot of fun with the interstitials this time. Not going to call them ads this time. Not so much ads as they are continuing the story.
Interstitials.
Yeah, you like that?
Never heard of that.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
You want me to look it up?
I mean,
I'll look it up while you tell me about how Mark is.
I'm still a little active in the non-video game field, I guess. Still been running. Actually have, I guess at the time of recording I already did it, but breaking kayfabe. I'm
you don't have to.
Doing a marathon later. I haven't done one in a while. It's been a couple years, I think. The last one I did was, I think it was the Color Run downtown. where you just
I remember that one.
all your clothes and shoes are ruined.
Yes.
Covered
It's just
in
neon fest.
just different colors,
Black lights.
different. Well, this one's during the day, so it's just like chalk powder everything, and one of the kids chucked it right between my eyes. I mean, he was little, he didn't know, but his trajectory was perfect.
Boom, headshot plus 50.
Yep, pretty much in my eyes, it's great. No, so this one's called Foam Glow. So yeah, it's all at night. I assume there is foam and glowing and both of some sort. Never did a night run before, so it feels like it's pretty low key, kind of casual thing for people, families, whatnot. I'm a little excited for it. I guess at the same time, it's me prepping for the bigger one that I don't feel prepared for at all.
That one's a longer distance. That's the crazy nightmare mud run, right?
The Savage Race.
Yeah.
That one's just obstacles out the ass for 7 miles or something. So yeah, I mean
Between running.
Yeah, between running
on top of the run.
between running, it's just swinging across little jungle gyms and crawling through ice and whatever. It'll be great.
It's like American Ninja Warrior for plebs.
I mean, there are Ninja Warrior-esque obstacles in it.
Sure.
I would say this is above Ninja Warrior in some cases. But yeah.
I got you your definition here, but I'm going to ask, do you want the standard definition, the one related to anatomy, or, of course, the one related to crystallography?
All of the above.
All right, I will give you crystallography, and we'll end it at that. Interstitial in regards to crystallography is an imperfection in a crystal caused by the presence of an extra atom in an otherwise complete lattice.
Cool.
It's the in-between moments. It's the things.
Is that what crystals called vodka has?
Great. I'm happy you asked that question because it's always a good time to talk about the clean taste of pure grain Crystal Head vodka. We saw Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That was not a great movie.
I thought it was fine.
It was fine. It was exactly what I expected it to be when I saw the first trailer and I saw Guillermo del Toro's name in it. An occasional interesting looking creature and a lot of boring shit in the middle of it. By boring, I mean boring.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's predictable. Didn't need the whole weird.
I just didn't know what to expect. Actually, I didn't know it was gonna be a dated thing.
I didn't either, and I also didn't.
But I also didn't realize. I forgot about it.
It felt like they had somebody else's script for a troubled teen with an absent mother, and then they took that script. The production company bought that script, and they were like, "Well, we got these goofy looking fucking pictures from Guillermo del Toro. We got to do something with. What if we just shove it into this script about a girl who meets a kid who's dodging the draft? What if we do that?" And then it's like, yeah, well, what if we set it in 1968? And it's like, oh, interesting twist.
Specifically 68. Is that?
I don't know. They kept going to the Nixon stuff. I don't understand why they kept cutting to that.
Yeah, I don't.
There's a few plot holes in that
I'm
movie.
Pretty sure that was somebody else's script for a different movie about a girl during the war. That's what that was. It was not.
Yeah, I guess they were just trying to make you feel like you were. Just remember what year you're in because the rest of the movie won't feel like it.
I honestly think they put it there so that way you couldn't call.
Yeah, it was just to avoid cell phones because most horror movies, it's either if you do have a cell phone, it's just it's glitching or no reception.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much it. I don't know.
And maybe to introduce, it was a mechanic to introduce Ramon. What's his name?
Yeah. I don't know.
What I did was that they put more emphasis on Night of the Living Dead. So some movies will use that as background footage because it's technically
royalty or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's free to use.
Public domain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because Romero lost the rights to that, they didn't patent it or something. So anybody can use it. Then usually in movies it's just in the background on TV, but at least with this there was a little flyer for it. It was at a drive-in. The girl quoted a line from the movie. They gave a little more care about it.
Yeah, I mean,
that was nice.
They did some good foreshadowing, using that kind of foreshadowed some of the other stuff in the movie. Little things they kept doing, the sister with the, you know what I mean? There's little things where they kind of hinted at what was going to come.
It was a lot of telegraphing.
But, yeah, it's fine. Glad I saw it. I was going to see it one way or the other.
Yeah, I was more curiosity than anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, outside of seeing spooky movies, I played some video games this week. Did you guys play some video games this week?
Some.
What video games did you play this week, Matthew?
All right. DOTA. Cue the music.
Wait, what's Dota?
So DOTA is a MOBA. No, I just keep playing DOTA.
Can I tell you how mad I am at Dota right now? I looked up the other day to see when TI was. It's like fucking 3 weeks away.
What are you talking about?
It's like so long away. It's an
It's
eternity.
not. The group stages are like right around the corner.
TI? I saw it was like end of August. Right?
Group stage starts in like 3 days. Probably 2 days from the time this records. That will go for a week, and then the main event, just like right around the corner.
Like August 30th, right?
No, it's before then. It's the weekend before.
But Gamescom will hold you over.
It's not about. I want him to stop talking about Dota.
Oh, okay.
And I thought we were close. I thought it was this weekend.
Oh, I thought you were like,
no.
I need to watch it. What can I do to pass the time to watch TI?
No, my eyes would be bloodshot, red.
I'm ready for Matt to fall into the next like slump of Dota. You know what I mean? Like we're at a fucking peak Dota right now. I need a trough. I need a deep trough. I don't want to hear the word Dota until January. When he wakes up one morning and goes, "Yeah, I was off work today. I decided to fire up Dota for the first time in a while. Boy, it's changed." And then we move on. That's all I want. But no, instead, gotta wait till the end of the goddamn month.
How's
How's Dota going? You having fun with Dota over there?
Yeah.
How's the jungle?
It's fine. Moving along. Play some Storm Spirit. Took a while to complete that one.
Yeah.
They patched some things. They changed some UI things, which was interesting. I can't like point out specifically because I'm still trying to get used to it. But yeah, it's fine, man. It's just some Dota. I got to open up all my card packs.
Well, yeah. Did you build your fantasy team?
Not yet, but I have to because the group stage is coming up. So I gotta
get. I don't know why you're even here. You shouldn't have come to do the podcast. You should have been home planning that.
Well, in the amount of time it takes you probably to raise your Hogwarts school over there, probably will take me to build my franchise or my fantasy team for the first few days of group stages. So I think we're relatively even on the time we have to spend on that.
We're going to roll the ball down the lane. We knocked out that. We're going to roll right into
Dota Underlords.
There you go.
Woo! Just keep grinding away on that one.
No big meta changes this week. Nothing crazy patch-wise.
They keep patching some things, but nothing too crazy.
Because all the weird shit happened last week, right?
Yeah, the reroll thing is really cool. I like that mechanic a lot. And I've seen my places improve for the most part. There's definitely those games where it's just like I feel like I struck out with luck, or I just went down the wrong path and I finished last or close to it. But then there's other games where I finished first or second or in the top 3. And I'm getting very close to that boss rank. I'm lieutenant level 3 at the time of speaking, which is right below it. There's a couple tiers, but I'm like right below it.
You texted me the other day that you are going to go professional.
I would love to.
Okay. How's that going?
Gotta get the boss. And then once I get the boss, I gotta go. I forget what the next one after that. But yeah, no.
When I opened up text messages to just verify that that's what you said to me, I saw that Ben has texted the three of us, and I'd like to share his text message with the podcast here, wherein someone on Twitter wrote to Cyberpunk Game, quote, "Will we have fully interactive sex scenes with the romances and one-night stands, being able to switch different and all kinds of sex positions and whatnot?" The official Cyberpunk 2077 account responded with a picture of the Big Lebowski looking confused as fuck. So there is that.
He might get his own hot coffee mod. You never know.
I mean,
you might be able to mod coffee in the game.
that makes sense.
Cybernetic coffee.
Yeah, add that to my wish list on Steam this morning. It felt real good.
Oh, Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to kill 10 minutes before I left, and I was just queuing through Steam. I haven't done that for a while, and I was adding
Oh,
this.
the little, yeah.
Ooh.
It's a good feeling.
I think the most I've done with Steam lately is I accidentally click on it in my little taskbar at work because Spotify is right next to it. I'm like, that shit.
Wrong one.
It's updating.
Yeah, it seems updated all the time. Yep, so that's that. And then I'm still chugging along the train there of the Youngblood.
I'm out. I haven't touched it. Haven't thought about it.
There was I dropped it for 5 days because I walked into this area that had like 6 boss characters, and I was like, why the fuck is this even in the game? I don't even know if like you can be a level 100 and get through this area.
I know where you're talking about. You could probably get through it. I think that spot where you have to open the door, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you were doing it co-op and you played a little strategically, you could probably do it, but the AI character's not going to res you the way that you need to be resed in that situation. What I did was hit C and then fucking stealth my way to the door, hit the door, and then I basically would load the checkpoint, run to the door stealth, and open the door, and do it until I didn't get killed opening the door. And eventually the doors opened, and I was able to sneak through and go hide and do it again.
All right.
Bad level design.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. But then I came back to it late last night. I killed a brother. The first one. I almost killed the second one.
Can you
Died.
just clarify real quick? A brother is one of the boss characters. They're just called like brother 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
It's just the way that came out of your mouth sounded a little like you were stuck in 1968 or something. Yeah.
So yeah, brother. I guess 1.
Yeah, I forget how they divvy it up, but
Killed him. 1 on the 2. Was in the middle of 2. Died. And then I was like, oh, checkpoint right outside the boss fight. Right outside the elevator. No, you restart the whole level over. I was like, wow, that's a terrible checkpoint. I don't know if it's a terrible checkpoint or just trying to make the game harder, and I'm leaning towards the first. Maybe they should checkpoint the elevators, I feel like.
Yep, that would make sense. That would make there's a lot of...
Because there's like 3... I've got the gist of the brother level design. There's like 3 stages to get...
Yeah. This is the first game in a while that made me think about the way executives talk about shit on stage. Which I know, like, duh. But just thinking about how that game's been hyped up at every single stage we've seen. And the way it's like... Of course everyone lies to you when they're trying to sell you shit, right? But also, you really think about it when you see a product like this come out, and you're like, did they play the same game that we did? Like, they know, right? Pete Hines knows that this game is what it is, right? Got to.
Yeah.
And you kind of know when you're making it. Like, here's our budget, here's what we're going to make, here's what we'd like to make if we had more time and more money, but we don't, so this is what we're going to make.
I don't know, is it just me, or are those areas with the brothers, it feels like recycled levels from New Colossus?
It all feels...
Like, climbing the scaffolding reminds me of the end of that game.
Mm-hmm.
There's that area where there's the banquet hall. This is the second brother, the one I died on. There's like these 2 robo-dogs that kind of come from the corner. I feel like I remember that. That room.
All of it feels... Yeah.
So, yeah, it's whatever. I'm still enjoying it. Shooting people still feels good in that game. Given the right...
I wanted to see if I could just kill it real quick and just knock it out, and I looked up the thing to see where I was, and it was just like, nah, I'm like right there, but then I saw all these people saying the final boss is just terrible and sucks, and yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then we'll take some time to talk about one game. It's on my mobile phone.
Oh.
Our dear friends at HAP.
Fuck you, I was going to bring this up this week.
Man, what another fucking... home run from them.
Dude. Home Runtaro.
I did not beat it. I'm in like stage 28 because I only play like 2-minute intervals.
Yeah,
but
no,
man,
it's
fucking beautiful.
Yes, developed by our good friends who brought you Hidden My Game by Mom 1, 2, and 3.
As well as other great games.
All great mobile games. Now we've got Home Runtaro, wherein you are playing baseball. The objective, the ball will come right down the middle of the plate. There's a strike zone. You tap the screen to hit the ball and get a home run. But every stage, there's a different pitcher.
Yeah, I forgot about this after it got shared.
Oh my god, it's so good.
This is great. I'm laughing my ass off.
And what's great is like if you've played the Hidden My Game by Mom games before, same assets,
same
but,
art. It's beautiful.
But you kind of know like.
Wait, hold on. Can we just take a moment too? Because we just criticized Youngblood for using the same assets.
It's okay.
And then we praise them for using the same assets across like 11 different games.
Difference is that they're self-aware. They know what they're doing.
Right. And the other difference I think the other difference is that what we say has no real meaning. So keep that in mind. But no. You kind of you speak the language after you play one of those games. You kind of know whatever. So you can almost predict the weirdness, but then it still keeps you on your toes. But like some of my favorite moments, like the fucking loading screen. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's where the fucking baseball. Yep, you motherfuckers. Like it's so good. It's so good.
Don't they have another one that's like baseball related?
They did. It was something where you had to. I don't remember.
I don't think you were the hitter though. I think it was.
Yeah,
like,
it was like.
I don't know if
Didn't
it
it
was
turn like a
pitching.
monster thing?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a giant monster.
I played that one.
Yeah. This one's very good. I think this.
I'll have to download that.
That noise they use for that home run sound effect.
Perfect.
Nailed it. Fucking like it feels so good when you hit a home run in this stupid little mobile game.
Yeah, it's a good.
Like some of the home runs feel more satisfying than the ones I hit MLB The Show.
1,000%. It's just a. It's a.
Are
good
you
game.
far in it? Did you beat it?
No, I didn't beat it. No.
I wonder because I've noticed that, and I don't know if it's to try to help you judge your swing, but there is like 3 different home runs types. There's one where you pull the ball, meaning you're early. There's one down the middle, and then there's one where you're a little bit late and you kind of go opposite field. That is.
Just say opposite field.
Sorry. I wonder if there's going to be a mechanic later in the stages to kind of time your home run a little bit better. To like hit something out of the sky, something stupid.
It
Or
could
there's
be.
something in the sky preventing you from.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like there's a duck, and you hit the duck, and then
It's just good, man. Like yeah,
and then the duck
actually
shits on
I'm
you or
looking through
something, I don't know.
I'm looking through all of the Hap Inc. games, and there's a few baseball ones.
Smoke screen levels are always great.
Smokescreen's good. It's just man, it's fucking like what do they have here? The Mermaid. I'm looking at the little like preview in the App Store.
What was the
grill?
Was it the Statue of Liberty that kept sticking? Oh no, it was like something on a pole, and he kept like he would change if he was short or long.
And even in the simplest like the early ones, I'm trying to like stay early with what I throw away, but like it'll be a tomato that comes down, or a bird will fly by and throw a ball, and you're like, okay, I know the timing now. Let me just swing. Oh, it's bird shit. Never mind. It's good. It's just a good. Hap Inc. Download now. Or Home Runtaro, developed by Hap Inc. rather.
Say that's the front runner for me for mobile game of the year.
Oh, immediately. I was like looking through. I'm like, what else have I played on my phone this year? There's been some stuff, right? And then I was like, well, nothing like this. I'll tell you what.
I play one other thing on my phone religiously this year, and it's not that good.
You know what I love? I love that Genova Chen put out a new game this week, or like in the last 2 weeks. You just made that face like, wait, what? And instead, we're talking about Home Runtaro. That's the power of
Genova Chen. I don't know who that is.
that game company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sky's out. It's been out for like 2 or 3 weeks. I have it downloaded on my iPad and my phone.
I'll stick with that.
And what I've been opening is Home Runtaro.
I still dive into the Dr. Mario world.
Do you?
Yeah. Not as much as when it first came out, but every once in a while, do a level or two.
I did, when I was at lunch the other day, I was playing Fire Emblem Heroes again on my phone. I got through, they've got those main story things, so I got through the second book, started the third book that came out this year. It started off with a badass cutscene with some metal shit, and then back to the battles.
I would say if you kind of go away from that game, if you're playing it all the time, this probably won't work out. But if you're like me, opening Dr. Mario World every couple of days, Nintendo's very gracious with like gifts they give you, and it's like 3 or 5 hearts every time. I feel like so like there's been times where I've had like 17 lives just stacked up ready to go.
That's pretty good.
So my lives thing is never an issue. I never feel compelled to buy
diamonds to turn into live.
Yeah. Like there's definitely some levels where I'm like, oh man, I'm like 2 moves away if I could buy that one extra move, but I never do it. But
yeah, no,
I could see where like just one more fucking pill and I can do it.
Nah,
I think they added more characters too.
Did they?
I don't know.
Dr. Wario, Dr. Waluigi, and Dr. Daisy.
I didn't even.
So you started playing this week? Is that what you're trying to
No.
tell us? Oh,
I didn't even. I picked Bowser and then I haven't even looked into it. I know they each clear different ways of the board, but I don't fucking care.
Mark, how about you? What video games you get into this last week?
Oh, just Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah, we went and did that thing.
Yeah, we did the World's Community Day for a little bit. That was good.
Yeah.
Trying to complete the leftover Meltan quest I was doing or still doing, and it's annoying. I completed everything else. Actually, because of that community day, I was able to complete a couple things and got Celebi and whatnot.
Yeah, that was fun.
Right now it's like I think the final Pokemon Go Fest is happening in Japan, and like because of that, there's like a whole global challenge, and then with that, you usually get like increased Stardust for everything, and you get like double experience for everything you do, which is so it's very gracious when you're in your mid-30s in that game, like the level or age. Trying to think where I left off with it, because like lately it's been like any gifts that you exchange with people, you can now hold 20 gifts instead of 10.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just a little thing going on.
Yeah. Oh, it's not permanent.
No.
Sure. Why would it be permanent?
And instead of Alolan 7K eggs, you now get 2K eggs.
Alolan 2K?
No, just
2K.
the green white.
Oh, you get them in the... Okay.
You get them in the gifts now.
All right, that's cool.
For this.
The Alolan eggs aren't just Alolan things anymore, are they?
No.
Okay.
Mostly I get more of like the babies than anything.
Okay.
Like from like Gen 4 or 3 or something. I forget, or even 2, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's a mixed variety now. So like that's cool. Yeah, like having, I don't know, like the other night, I went with 2 friends and we were driving around. This is probably like 10, 11 at night. We went to the local community college, hit up a couple stops in there. I don't know if we were supposed to be there, but did anyway. And from there, drove into a graveyard.
Yeah, there you go.
And that was odd because there was a car in front of us the whole time, and I think they were also playing, but we couldn't tell if they actually were playing because all we saw was an old lady driving, or what they thought was an old lady. I thought it was a dude with dreads. How do you confuse the two? I don't know.
Is that Jonathan Davis or Gladys Knight?
Yeah.
They they were playing. They just weren't playing Pokemon Go, if you know what I'm saying.
What I'm thinking was that it was a grandma with like 2 kids in the backseat. I don't know. They took the same route with all the stops that we needed to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How old are we at this table?
Doesn't matter.
Making
Yeah.
jerking motions over there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a very narrow road to drive at night. If you try to go off the sides, there's like little
Graves.
ditches next to the graves.
Yeah.
Not safe for a car.
Yeah.
But they were taking forever, which is, I mean, I didn't care that they were taking forever, but it's kind of hard to see where you're going because it, like, one turn, it's like you don't expect the turn. It was just, I don't know, the because it's all going uphill, and they have to come back downhill. And I could have swore when that car stopped, there was this door, like the passenger door, like back passenger door or whatever. Somebody got out and just started walking away from the car. I guess if I remember, it was just some dude, because I remember he was wearing shorts and he had sandals. My friends didn't see it. I saw it. Didn't see him again. But then as we left the graveyard, there was another dude. Maybe it's the same guy. I don't know. Outside of the gate of the graveyard with like 2 jugs hanging on like the gate is like brick iron bar gate, but the rest of it, the outside of it is like, it's like a brick wall going along, but not like super tall, because like it's like half brick walled and half like metal grates just going down it. But so there's kind of like a ledge because of the brick. He has jugs on there, 2 jugs. I can't tell if it was like milk or bleach. And then he had like 2 bags of, like, I don't know how he carried all this by himself. It looked like he just had like a shit ton of groceries. And he was just like kind of sorting it out right there.
Oh yeah, that's what I do.
This is like 11:45.
When
ish.
What
at
time
night,
are you supposed to be doing this?
There's like nothing around you where you could have got that from. I don't know what's going on. Maybe,
folks at home, if you had graveyard on your bingo sheet this week, go ahead and mark that down.
Yeah.
In our weekly, Mark went to a weird place.
I mean, there was a gym in there and like 5 stops. So
what's on the agenda this week? I like that last week we had a parking lot where we almost got murdered, or maybe saw visitors. This week you're hanging out with ghouls.
Yeah, I don't know. I might
Funeral home.
You gotta stop.
Yeah.
Or just start breaking into somebody's house.
I mean, if there's a gym or a stop,
Mark's coming in.
what's gonna stop me? You know, we'll see. Team Rocket, yo.
I like this weekly segment.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Oh wait,
it.
what's wrong with the Dota one?
This is dynamic. The Dota one is I played more Dota this week. It's Dota.
And then you get the little chime that you keep missing every week in the podcast.
The Pokemon Go segment isn't I play Pokemon Go, period. It's, hey, I broke into a woman's house because there was maybe a Squirtle there that I needed because if I collect
Fine,
3
I'll
of
get
them.
out my goddamn laptop, reinstall it real quick, and I'll start going to graveyards and play over hotspots.
See, that's a damn story. I played Dota this week. All right, moving on. No.
I played it in someone's grave that just
Yeah.
dug out.
Yeah, it's really not the game that matters. It's did I almost die?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's not what you did; it's how you did it. That's what really matters. I'm excited for Generation 5.
I have a theory about this.
October.
Nose pass. What?
So I don't know if we have Pokemon news coming up.
I don't know.
It's not really worth mentioning, to be honest, because it was a short video. But oh hey, there's Galarian forms of whatever, right?
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
There you go. That's the news. But my theory is that whenever Pokemon does this stuff in their main games, I think Niantic will just take that part and add that to the game and never have to add another generation. They'll just keep milking just these different regional forms of shit we already have. Because Sun and Moon
didn't get...
only Alolan forms.
Yeah, but that made more sense because they already had the models for whatever, and they just had to
Right, that's what I'm
recolor.
saying.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about making a really new model. They just have to change the texture.
But I think Gen 5's coming. We already saw the Gen 5 tease.
Did we?
Yeah, it was the like anniversary poster or whatever had the starters from Gen 5 in it.
Oh, I didn't even pay
From
attention.
middle of July or whenever that was.
Oh.
And
Because it's been a while, right? Since they really like added like
I
a
think
full-ass generation.
Gen 4 was October last year.
Really?
I think like the first year Gen 2 hit in December-ish. Gen 3 hit in October the year after. And then, or I can't remember. But yeah, it's usually about that. So I'd expect it in the next month or two.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's good on them. I'm glad that they're keep updating it and just a little more. But
you know
some
what I
things
need?
just take a little longer, you know? What do you need?
Chandelure. Hanging by my wayside. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
As soon as it hits, I'm going to go out and get me a lit wick. I'm going to raise that little boy. I'm going to have a chandelure follow me everywhere I go. You wait.
Gonna name it Sia?
No, that's pretty good, though. I was going to get a Garbodor and name it Guy.
Yeah. They kind of updated the game softly this past like day or two ago, where like the egg animation hatching is better now. It's not like up close jagged pixels. It's like a little further away. Nice lighting in the background. It's more like circular rings. It's not gold. It's like a black background with like gold rings now.
I'll have to pay closer attention to it.
Yeah. There was some kind of leak I saw where, thanks to you gave me that Twitter page to look at. The data files showed Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Pikachu _fall.
Oh boy.
So I don't know what that means. I don't know if they get like nice little scarves or
Pumpkin heads.
something. Holding little lattes. I don't know.
Oh man. Dude, it's coming. It's coming. How many did you buy Halloween candy this week?
No, it's still fucking summer.
It's not summer anymore.
Yes, it's still very much summer.
Not summer
Walk
anymore.
outside. It give you a nice subtle reminder of how hot the weather is. Nice,
It's good.
hot,
We're doing good. We've moved past
hot
summer.
and ready.
I'm here to inform you summer's been officially canceled.
I did wear a long sleeve yesterday because it was only 80 degrees. It got a little cold.
80 is cold. You're fucked. There's no...
I only wore pants because I knew we were going to be in a theater, or else I probably would have stayed in shorts.
I don't know. Well, you could have fucking stood up and done jumping jacks in the theater we were in.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jake, get on the phone.
Well, I ordered pizza, and the pizza guy came into the theater.
That's the best way to rate a movie is judge it by its audience. If they're not paying attention, then I guess the movie's just not
No,
good.
they weren't paying attention because they didn't pay for the fucking movie.
No,
They walked in, formed a line on the stairs, watching to see which seats were empty, and then filled in.
how does that happen now? Because don't you like?
I don't get it. Like when I was their age,
Did
and
they
like,
come in through the back door? Is that what happened?
Dude, when we went in, because Matt bought all of our tickets,
Yeah.
he was like, here you go, those 5. How hard is it to fucking go? I'm with that guy. You could just walk, but no one
That's
gives
true.
a... Those kids don't give a fuck.
They're
when they
supposed to check
tickets.
my ID every time.
Yeah, they don't give
They
a
never
fuck.
do.
Oh, mine never gets checked either.
Well, no.
Because of the thing.
Yeah, I have to prove that I'm the member who gets the free ticket.
Also, like,
That's asking a lot.
Yeah, they never.
on a
Happened
weekend
once.
night when I would go... When I was those kids' age, we would literally just, like, walk right by them. No one said a fucking thing. And if they did, you'd be like, my dad is... You know, we're like, oh, I went to go pee. Oh, I don't have my girlfriend has the ticket. Well, you just lie.
I couldn't do that. I stood out like a sore thumb for some reason to
You gotta believe
ticket people.
You gotta believe the lie. That's the thing. You gotta tell yourself that you're supposed to be there.
Well, I guess next time if I go to sneak in to see Spider-Man, Sam Raimi Spider-Man, not to wear a Superman shirt.
There you go. Yeah, you shouldn't
'Cause-
have done that.
Dude, like, guy actually laughed at me and then showed his friend.
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
bad.
Okay.
Now, I remember sneaking in to see The Ring. There were so many of us in the theater that we were sitting on each other's laps. And then, you know, that dickhead comes into the theater and he's like, this is a sold-out show. If you could please, everybody.
So when you say scooch in, that meant
Yeah.
pile up.
And we had people on the fucking floor in front of us, like sitting.
What?
Dude, it was just 8th grade, man. Wild times.
Could you imagine if that's what movie theaters turn out to be? They take out the seats and it's just sit whatever. Crisscross applesauce.
Yeah, do what you want.
Just
It's fine. Bring a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Order a fucking pizza. Those kids did. The one kid just kept getting up and coming back in every 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuckers. Anyway, speaking of kids, mine aren't kids anymore. I hit the time jump in Fire Emblem 3 houses. 5 years have passed, which we knew about, right? Y'all, that's not a spoiler. That was kind of in the...
I mean, it was in a trailer.
Yeah. there you go.
That's the weird thing. But
Also, you talked about it last week.
There you go. So, spoilers out. I hit the time jump. Man, they do that so well. The time jump, not so much. Like, the thing that happens, I won't say really what happens, but, like, the reason for Byleth's absence is you're in a fucking ditch. Like, there's a battle that happens, you fall into a ditch, and then 5 years pass. I assume something else happened. I assume that as the story progresses, it'll be like,
so just comatose.
Yeah. And there's some other stuff going on with Byleth. Like there's some stuff with like the power of a goddess, and I won't spoil stuff.
Very
That's
Fire Emblem elements.
but like, you're just in a fucking ditch, and the world moves on without you. Like shit gets fucked up. But what they do well is the reunion. When you're kind of all back at the monastery and everyone's coming back together. I was sitting there getting like, started to get teary-eyed, and Katie was sitting next to me. She's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And I was like, look at him. Look how big he is now. Wow, look, her hair's
Who's
long.
Sylvan fucking?
Huh? Okay, so.
Oh, no, he's dead, isn't he?
No, Sylvan's still around. Sylvan, he's still trying to come on to me, but he's just,
He's
dude,
a fucking machine, man. I get it.
non-stop. He just keeps so you have the support conversations where you kind of, as you do battles nearby other allies. So if I put Ignatz and Lawrence, by the way, last week I kept calling him Lorenzo like an idiot.
Dumbass.
Lawrence. If I put Ignatz and Lawrence next to each other in the battlefield, that will help them to open up a support conversation outside of battle.
Yeah, then you can level that up. You were talking
Right.
a little bit about that.
Which I don't love the support system only because they bury it in this menu. They don't make it like kind of forward facing to the point where like almost a month in game time will go by and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot to do all the support conversations. And I don't know if I'm missing any or not. I don't know if I'm like, ooh, could I have like been maxing this out a little bit more or not? So stuff like that'll happen, and all of Sylvan's support conversations are always you interrupting him while he's hitting on someone else. And the girl's walking away crying. And he's like, whoa!
Oh, I think
All right, Waluigi.
yeah. I think I saw a clip once where like he actually got burned by somebody.
He
Like-
does. No, he gets burned pretty good. People get him.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's her face? Shit. Leonie. She fucks him up pretty good. Because she doesn't take shit from anybody. It's damn good.
Okay.
Even the professor kind of gets back on. What I don't like, here's the two things I really don't like about this game. The way that support system's kind of buried, and the fact that your protagonist is silent for most things.
No.
Like occasionally, you know, there are voiced lines, but it's never like in situations like that where you've got the support conversations fully animated. No, not fully animated. It's a static background with character models that are kind of in motion, but fully voiced, I should say, with some animation to give you the illusion of that. But if your character is having a support conversation or any type of conversation, it's just a blank expression on the face. Like face doesn't change. There might be a hand gesture, like an open hand extended out, like to kind of indicate like, and that's it.
So
and
there's no like distinctive personality traits or.
Now, like it kind of comes through in the text, but like it still feels very generic and like typical protagonist stuff. But I mean, if that's honestly the weakest part, is that like everything else about this game through and through is just so well polished and well realized that the battles, man, the fucking battles, just like I sat getting my oil change today, and I'm just going through this whole monster battle, working my way through this like foggy forest, and like every step you reveal a new monster that comes out of the fog, and you're like, oh fuck.
Music for a battle. How is that?
It is not as
Is it not as catchy as the one theme?
It's not as catchy as that one. That one theme's pretty hard to tell.
I forget what that's called.
I don't remember either.
Like Together We Ride or something like that.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Shut Up and Ride, I think it might be. Yeah, nothing as catchy as that, but I'm definitely like as I'm sitting here, I can hear the music in my head. So it's there. It's just not like dun 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 dun. Wait, no, that's
fucking part of the Caribbean. All right,
close though. It's close.
I know. Yeah, the story got real fucked up, which I'm not gonna go into, but like the story had been kind of, you know, wrote in a way that was not generic, but just like, okay, yep, like, you know what I mean? Like, no surprises, just like, got it, this is happening. Okay, now this has happened.
Right.
And then there was some shit that happened that, you know, there's a reason there's a war after the 5 years, and that's what now I'm fighting with all my grown-up students. And that part, I'm like, oh shit, I want to see what happens, because like, fucking, I don't know what happens. Like, I didn't pick, I went with Golden Deer, so Claude grows up and he just looks like same as Claude. Edelgard has these badass ram horns, and fucking Dimitri, the leader of the Blue House, fucking eye patch. What happened there? I don't know. I don't think I'll ever find out, because I'm not part of that house unless I replay the game. That's a whole different story. It's just a lot of open questions now, but all of my characters are, generally speaking, approaching their like mastery levels. So we talked about how you can rank up and change their classes. A lot of them are in their master class status now, or close to it. The downside to that a little bit is that there's not a lot of ways to see that stuff or kind of be preparing for that stuff early on. So, you know, like, and there's gendered classes. So I might have been thinking this whole time, like, okay, this person's going to be good at, I don't know, reason and lance. Reason is kind of like black magic or dark magic. So doing that, but then like you get to the mastery level and like there's a spot I can use him for this, but the stuff I've been leveling Lawrence for, I can't actually turn into a class. He doesn't have high enough skills in any of the classes. Like, he's got a piece of it, but when you get to master, you typically need like A or B in two or three different skill sets. And like in the case of Ignatz this whole time I've only focused on bow skills. So he's A+ pushing S rank in bow, but everything else is kind of like not good at all. And there's no like there's a sniper class, but it's not the master class. It's like the advanced. So there's no good way there's no good place for me to put Ignatz at a mastery level, which is like, you know, had I known that a little bit earlier on, I may have been like, okay, well, let me also groom him for horseback riding or whatever. You know, some of it I kind of caught on to, like Lysithea, I don't know how the fuck these names are. I kind of knew at a point that one of the higher ranked female mastery classes was a combination of faith and reason, which is white and dark magic, white and black magic. So I had been kind of grooming her for that, and then adding in some other things and making sure that she was leveling up fairly in that. And she just passed level 30. So as soon as I'm done the battle that I've got, like, my Switch is literally suspended on, I'm gonna get her up to her mastery class, which it's just like seeing all that and like seeing the list of all their skills and it's all A pluses and Bs and everything. Like there's a couple where now I've had to pivot last minute, or characters who are like newly adopted, like right before the time jump. I got Bernadetta to join me, I think she's from the Black Eagles. But she's the one where she's kind of like always in her dorm room, the whole thing. She never comes out.
Right.
But I got her to join my class. And because of that, like they do a good, like even if you recruit someone later in the game, you get high enough skill levels, but in order to get it, like, in order to get her to the next thing, the mastery class, like I've also got to work on horseback riding or something. So being able to kind of like focus on that, there's a couple where I see A, B, A, B, A, and then like a D, but that D's like shooting up exponentially. So it's slowly getting there to where I'll be able to.
2 questions.
Yes.
With this time jump, does your main character look different?
Nope.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. Your main character started to look different before the time jump.
Okay. But there's no significant aging.
Aging, no.
Okay. Question 2.
And all the professors, like
okay.
a lot of them look the same, if not they are.
Right. So like, adults look like adults, and then kids will only
kids,
look like adults.
Yeah.
Okay. For all this grading, like the characters with the letters, when you look at that, is it called a report card?
Ooh, I don't know. I've never seen that.
Because that would be clever.
That would be clever. It might be. I can't remember what they titled that. I'll have to look at it. But yeah, that's I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just a damn good game. You know, there's stuff I forget to do. Like I forget to go and like repair my weapons or put new weapon, like swap out things.
Right.
If someone has open inventory slots and they get a weapon in the middle of battle that they might not even need, they still hold on to it. Like Hilda's never going to use a bow, you know? She's an axe girl. Doesn't need to be hanging on to these bows. She'll pick up a bow and then hold on to it. Or anytime you pick up a rusted weapon, just might as well throw it in the trash. But if they have an open slot, they just hang on to it instead of like just saying, "Oh, fuck this, throw it in the trash." Yeah, it is. I don't know what more to say other than I like it a lot. It's literally the only thing I think about. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, fuck. Here's what I want to do, but then instead I have to go to work. I come home, come home, make dinner, and then plop right away.
Yeah.
It's good. And I like started, like I installed DC Universe on my Switch because now it's there for free. But simultaneously I unsubbed from the PC version because I'm like, don't need that shit, playing fucking Fire Emblem. I'm looking through like the next couple weeks of releases because I got money I had money set aside for Control and for Astral Chain, and I'm like, maybe I'll just keep playing Fire Emblem. And I'm nowhere either. Like I looked at a friend of the show, Dash. Dude's like over 80 hours already. I think I'm approaching 40.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think I hit the time jump earlier than most. I've been hearing anecdotally from folks that the time jump is usually happening around 35 hours or so. I hit mine around 26. So I probably didn't spend enough time doing something, but hey.
That's just your unique path.
That's me. That's been the week. Do either of you have any interest in Fire Emblem after hearing about it? I'm just curious.
I wasn't interested before,
and now I've definitely made you not interested.
I mean, it's cool. It's just I don't know. I feel like I've just been exposed to a lot of it within the past couple years. I'm just kind of. I mean, I also don't play many strategy games as is, so it's like I don't want to knock Fire Emblem for being a strategy game because I think it's a damn fine thing. Like I respect it, but yeah, it's just not for me. I don't think I have that kind of patience.
No, I'm only asking because I remember years ago when Chris came on and was talking about like Fire Emblem Awakening, and I was like, cool, great, sounds good.
Yeah.
And then like a year or two after that, I bought the one on 3DS, or I bought Awakening and fell in love with it and loved it. But
I think the last one I played was Fates.
Fates wasn't good.
Yeah.
Like looking back on it, it just, especially compared to this, like
I think Heroes is what I played the most of out of anything.
That's such a truncated experience too.
Yeah.
It's good, you know what I mean? But it's
Like I've touched a bit of Awakening, but like I liked it. I liked the style of it, but I don't know. I guess I forgot why I fell off. I don't know if something else came along and I was just like, all right, let's play that.
yeah.
So.
Oh, did we talk about Smash Brothers in the last week?
Well,
you know
talked about
what?
Fire Emblem, so
Fuck, I forgot I even played it because I tried Hero.
Oh, how do you like Hero?
I like him.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I haven't tried him yet, but yeah, he's got weird. All that down B stuff is wild.
Yeah, it's a little odd at first, but because you have to down B to activate it, and then you pick something, and then B just activates it.
Right.
So you don't have to hit it like down B twice.
Yeah. But
so he's like a, because I don't really know, but he's like a character like Shock, right? Where like you can kind of pick a category and his abilities change.
it's along that line of like an atypical. Because when you see him, you're like, oh god, it's Sword Fighter. It's another Fire Emblem thing.
But like he has an MP bar, so depending on the move, like it'll be highlighted or not. But every time, whenever you hit down B, you have that moment to pick whatever that roll gives you. And then once you're out of it, you don't have those moves anymore. It's a different set every time you hit down
it's
B.
18 potential moves that can show up in that list of 4 or 5.
I think it's like 5.
18 potentials that will pop up in there, and they're all independently unique. You build your MP bar by doing your regular attack, so you are using your sword to attack, but then you use your magic to do that thing. And there's like stuff that's like, anywhere from like a fire spell to a fucking kamikaze that will just you kill yourself and whoever's nearby.
Yeah, like if you do the one, I forget the name of it already, but it's just like you shoot like this orange orb at something, and then it's just like instant death for them almost.
It's a percentage chance that it does that.
Yeah, but
it's a pretty good percentage chance, and the higher their percentage is, the more likely it is it's a one-hit KO.
Yeah, and like half the time you don't even need it.
Yeah.
Like any of those magic moves, because they're probably gonna nerf him because his side B is like overpowered, and you feel so good. It's that lightning charge where like lightning comes down like Pikachu's thunder, and then you do like this big spin attack if you hold it in all the way. If your opponent is like 35-40% damage, instant kill after that. They're done. They're just fully charged attack against somebody who already got hurt. Done. Like
that's pretty good.
It's like level strong.
That's too strong. It's too powerful.
Yeah.
I played a bunch in the. Did you try the tournament stuff?
No.
They've got a new. I think we talked about it last week. I can't remember now. Did we?
Sounds familiar.
I can't remember if it was on air or off air, but there's a new tournament thing. If we said it last week, sorry, I'm going to repeat it. But it's a bracket tournament, so it's 32-32, 64 total, and they're changing it every couple of days of what the thing is. So the first one I did was a 4-player free-for-all standard Smash, and then the couple days after that, it was 1v1s, 2 stock, 2.5 minute timer. Kind of like the tournament-ish, legal, whatever. It's cool to have that just kind of like competitive rung right there, ready to access at any point. And I don't know, it feels good. I'm not any better, but it's good.
That's cool though.
Was he available to use at Evo?
He came out like 2 or 3 days before Evo, but they did not let him use.
Yeah, like they want to ban him because of.
I mean, they want to ban everybody. People want to ban Joker because MKLeo won with Joker.
But I guess just because
they wanted to ban Bayonetta when someone won with Bayonetta. Like that's just
because of the randomness of.
Yeah, actually, Bayonetta was pretty OP at the time. But yeah.
Every esports should have some kind of banning phase.
I'm not saying that, but that I think the banning phase being a case by case thing, whereas like people are like, Hero should never be allowed in a tournament.
Yeah, no, like that. No, fuck that shit.
Yeah, we'll learn how to work around him.
Yeah, but banning phase are always good, man.
That's cool. But they talked about the randomness of his MP being a reason why, but like if you get lucky with Game & Watch and you hit a 9, like that piece of RNG is also
because like I don't know if like
but Game & Watch sucks otherwise. So
it's true.
I don't know
people
if
do all right with them for some reason.
I mean, I like them, but I don't know if like their big esports tournaments are timed.
I think they are.
I think so.
Because
it's a high timer, but it is timed.
Okay. Because with Hero, like somebody showed a video where like he could just a stroke of luck with each time he did down B, he got to do the same move of Zoom, So he got to stay in the air for like 16 seconds before ever touching the ground.
Oh yeah, that would fuck with some stuff.
So I was like, I don't know, if it's just trying to run out of timer and win like that or something.
Final thing on Fire Emblem, but the better you become at the game, or your characters level up. You remind me when you talk about the spin attack. You get such a higher critical chance rate. Like the more skilled your characters are, and there's nothing fucking better than just like seeing that go into the critical hit thing, because they do these badass attacks. Like my main character is now doing like backflips and stuff as she hits with a sword. Raphael,
More finesse.
So much. Raphael does this like twirl move and then starts pummeling you with his gauntlets. You would love Raphael.
I was about to say, wait, there's gauntlets as just weapons?
Dude, Raphael in this game is basically Magnus if he had Michelangelo's personality.
Well, see, you say Magnus doesn't like books.
No, that's what it's Magnus
Okay.
likes to punch.
Okay.
And that's all Raph does. He likes to eat.
So there's actually
spaghetti.
a class of just brawler. Like just,
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he's called like a War Master now, is what his class is.
That's such a Magnus title.
Yeah. He's covered in like chains and fucking
I have
spikes.
to see this.
I'll show you. Raph is fucking badass. And like, he just loves to punch and eat. That's his whole thing.
Yes.
That's all.
I love that too.
But he's goofy as hell. He's big and burly as fuck, and he wears shirts that don't fit him, so the buttons are always like hanging half open and shit. He's just a big old goof.
Good.
And he like acts and talks like Michelangelo. It's
Lead with that
fantastic.
next time. We're going to talk about Fire Emblem.
Yeah, sorry, I should have opened with that. They all have. That's the thing about the game is like, previous games you kind of get attached to the characters, and with the permadeath stuff, you kind of have that extra level of it, just like an XCOM or whatever, where you're like a little bit attached to these characters for one reason or another. But I think this just so well realizes those characters' personalities and the way they communicate with one another and communicate with you, and even things they say on the battlefield. Like it's constantly drawing you in and making you like fall in love with the characters in a way where I'm so fucking happy I'm not playing with permadeath, because I don't know what I would do if one of them died. Like, fuck,
Yeah,
It's the worst feeling in XCOM when that
it
happens.
sucks so much.
And
Do
like,
I reload or what?
and like, and with games like that, when they add a character like Raphael, you learn to appreciate it more, because Fire Emblem, with games like Fire Emblem, they give out such like a what's the word for it, like an aura of them, I guess, or something, where like this is a very like serious and whatever. Like, I mean, I know it's like anime looking whatnot and it cartoony whatever,
No, but
like,
it's got that air of just like,
but like overall it's like, all right, this is about war, people fighting, it's serious, there's drama, things, whatever. But then you have characters like that in there that don't get the spotlight, and you only know about it by going in. You don't expect it, and so it's like you just come to appreciate that stuff a little more. Like I love those little wrenches in the cogs, I guess.
it's so like there's been a lot of the paralog missions, like the side story stuff that you do, where you're each paralog mission is usually tied to a character or a set of characters where something's happening. So one of the recent ones I did was Marianne's. Every character has or they have the potential to have a crest passed down with them genetically that they kind of like imbue, and it holds the power of something. So like the crest of flames or the crest of whatever, and it kind of like,
this is very fantasy stuff
like
right now.
Yeah, it's like an untapped potential they could unlock at any moment or whatever. And the one that's inside of Marianne is supposedly tied to this guy named Maurice. So the crest of Maurice is one that turned Maurice into this like hideous monster who wreaked havoc on this town. And some villager comes along and he's like, "You!" and he starts screaming at Marianne. He's like, "The monster's been fucking up all these people in this village, and I know you carry the crest of Maurice, you fucking fuck." And she's like, "No, I don't. It's not me. It's
Fire Emblem's real dark.
It's dark as hell.
Fucking fuck.
And
fuck him."
She's upset, obviously, and she's like, "It's not me. Like, it's not. I know I don't." At first, I thought they were gonna toy with like the whole werewolf kind of thing and be like, she turns into this thing at night and she doesn't know it, and we've got to save her. But it turns out it was actually a monster. Oh, it was actually Maurice. And but so you get like those kind of things. And there was one where like Raph was trying to save something from his village or something because his parents are dead, and he just takes care of his sister. He sends like the only reason Raph's going to this school is because
he needs that football scholarship.
He wanted to become a knight so that he could get a better job to take care of his sister. And she wrote him a letter thanking him for all of the books that he sent because she can now learn. And you learn this in one of the support conversations. And I forget who he's talking to, but whoever the support character was like, well, wait, what books did you send her? He's like, well, I sent her all my books because she's smarter than I am and she needs them. And
so he's not reading, studying at... Okay, you know what?
And the support character's like, well, what are you going to read? Don't you think you need those? And he was like, I'll be fine.
I read the fear on my enemies' faces.
Yeah. So I'm sorry that you just had to spend $60 in this game now, but it's like that stuff. You've
definitely convinced me to look more into it. So
those are the moments that make me like love the game. And then the strategy is just so good because they got rid of the weapon triangle in this one. Like there's no more, rock, paper, scissors in this. It's all about like placement of your units on the battlefield. Like proximity to other characters will boost certain attacks. Proximity to your enemy will change what attacks you can and can't do. So there's a lot of that stuff as opposed to the like, that guy has lance, I use axe. Like none of that. You do get like these kind of breaker moves, but like
rock, paper, scissors, I never really, it kind of makes sense, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's like, polearm is probably better than a sword, but what if you're really good with this sword and they're really shitty with that polearm?
Yeah,
you
right.
should be able to disarm them.
And this takes a lot of that into account, which
That's
is
cool.
it's a damn good game. And it's time for a damn good break. Unless you guys got anything else. We'll be back with some news from the week right after you hear a little taste of a song. Welcome back to a podcast about video games. And now it's time for the news about video games, starting with a first look at WWE 2K20. Matt, resident wrestling expert, what's the skinny here on what's new in 2K20?
It seems they're going to be leaning a lot into Legends again this year. Well, probably even more so than past years, even though there's a lot of Legends in the game already. They're big. I don't think they're making any big changes to like the My Career or Universe mode or anything like that. But it's the first time that a woman's going to be featured on the cover.
That's
Becky
right.
Lynch.
We got Queen Mira and Aquaman right there.
He doesn't like Jason Momoa. No, Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch share the cover there. And then, as far as they're going to do that showcase mode again, where it's like it's kind of like a showcase of matches of like someone's career they've done in the past. Like they've had one with Stone Cold. I played through like one with the Attitude Era back in 2013. Last year's game has a Dan O'Brien showcase, kind of going through his career with his retirement and the coming back for WrestleMania in 2018. This year, though, they're going to showcase the women's evolution in wrestling, which has been a big thing. The past couple years kind of really hit home last year when Ronda Rousey became a big draw. So they're going to go through that. But as far as game mode changes, the biggest one will be mixed tag team matches.
Finally.
So a woman can hit a man or a man can hit a woman.
Is that up to snuff with what's going on in WWE? Or
they're
there's
still
a lot
like
of
very conscious about it, and when that kind of stuff that kind of interaction happens, it's very selective, and it's like for a big payoff. Like when I went to Extreme Rules, the main event was a mixed tag match, and the dude on the heel team laid out Becky Lynch with his finisher, and like the crowd like, oh shit. It kind of wrote the story, though, that it took her out of the match, so that way when Brock Lesnar cashed in, she couldn't get up to interfere. She was still knocked out from hitting the...
Sure.
And they had Nia Jax come out in the men's Royal Rumble, and she ate like an RKO and went over the ropes. So they're slowly doing it. But yeah. And then every year they have like a mixed tag match tournament thing, and they don't really show that on TV. They usually do it more on the network as like extras, but yeah, no, they're starting to get there again with that stuff, feeling a little bit more at ease to do it.
This year, also the first year that the game will not be developed by Yuke's. The studio has been responsible for the wrestling games for a very long time.
Yes.
So 2K stated WWE 2K20 will be developed by Visual Concepts, who have worked with Yuke's on the development of the series since WWE 2K14. Of course, Yuke's was already working with them prior to that, even in the THQ years, all the way back to 1999 with the SmackDown for PS1. In a statement to Video Games Chronicle, 2K says, as we've continued to invest in the WWE 2K franchise, we've seen the Visual Concepts team display incredible passion, talent, and commitment to the future of the series. We thank Yuke's for their years of partnership and are excited to see what the Visual Concepts team brings to the franchise moving forward. Yuke's is supposed to be continuing to provide support to 2K with regard to the game engine. Of course, this is after earlier this year we heard that Yuke's is working on its own new wrestling IP. Now, we've obviously witnessed it month after month with our award-winning pay-per-view series, Free Cheese Wrestling, brought to you free on thefreecheese.com. But I think it's no shy fact that those games are not great.
They're not easy to get into.
Like, all of the stuff around it is cool, and then, like, playing it is like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has been attributed to Yuke's, so hearing their departure is kind of cool, but then also the engine is still the Yuke's engine. On the flip side, when Yuke's announced that it was making its own wrestling game on the side earlier this year, which we all kind of went, huh? It was also stated in their thing that, like, hey, we've got all this cool shit that we've wanted to do for a while, but 2K won't let us. In so many words, right? But
correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there that story too that like they were both working on the same version of the game to see where to go with the franchise next?
that was
did that bleed into the new IP thing?
Both.
Okay.
Fish, I think.
Question about this. I don't know if I'm misunderstanding it or what, but new IP, does that mean like they're not using WWE wrestlers? It's like all made up, brand new.
Unless they end up getting like a deal to make like the AEW or something. Yeah, because that's a big on the rise.
So kind of like, because Fire Pro Wrestling is kind of like that, right?
Right.
It's just all made up.
I'm pretty sure.
Fire Pro Wrestling has a couple licenses. I think they partner with New Japan Wrestling, which is another big one over in Japan that's starting to make a little bit more of a presence here in America.
Yeah, like that's a game I want to play still.
But no, like they're kind of like loosely.
Okay.
You can tell the character is who's supposed to be, but it's not named that way. So
honestly, if they just built a wrestling playground, like strip all the bullshit out. I don't need any licenses. Like people are gonna make who they want to make.
Yeah.
As seen month after month in our award-winning pay-per-view series. But like, just fucking make a good fucking platform for people to provide content for, and the content will come. That'll be cool.
I can tell you, like, I've gotten a couple of the WWE 2K games. I don't play them outside of making our show.
Yeah, no.
And there's maybe a handful of matches I need to play to unlock something. I need to get one of the created characters, or I need to play a match and record it for a highlight clip. That's about it. I spend more time in the menus organizing the show than I do actually playing the game.
That sounds about right.
But yeah, hopefully, I know one of the things they wanted to address with this year's game was make it easier for newcomers to get acclimated with the controls, which they're a fucking mess. If I know part of it is like you just forget because we only play it month after month, but like I'm not shocked that you're asking me how do you pin because it's so stupid.
Yeah,
it's overly complicated. Yeah, it's starting to get. It's like way past where Madden is. Like Madden, it's not hard to get into now either because there's so many different things you have to know. And this game is well past that territory, which it sucks because SmackDown and No Mercy are so easy to kind of grasp, but they're still so complicated.
So, Rockstar converting some of its game testers to full-time employees after reports last year that working conditions were a little rough on testers. Testers being asked to work evenings and weekends. Last year, there was a report from Kotaku last year regarding this stuff. And now there's a new report coming out that as of August 1st, some employees will be bumped up to full-time status. There's also a report that Rockstar is experimenting with flex time, allowing workers to shift when they do their assigned work hours. Which is good. I mean, in the continuing conversation of crunch is maybe bearing fruit in a good way. I don't know. Thoughts, feelings?
I thought there was something because like I saw like Schreier posted that link. I mean, he didn't write the article, but like he posted it, and he was saying something like somebody came to them and was like, yeah, and things have vastly improved since then. Like I think so far, like, maybe one person has stayed over an entire weekend, but they volunteered to do that. So it wasn't forced.
Full snooze. Yeah, because that was the thing is like we heard out of Epic and out of other, I think Rockstar was another where you just kind of, maybe not always necessarily forced, but like you kind of felt like if you're the one that's not staying and working evenings and weekends, then you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And even in the worst cases, like there were some of those things out of the Epic story where people who would take vacation would come back and, conspicuously their job had been folded into another job and they were invited to accept a severance package or whatever, which is just Speaking of Epic, crates will be leaving Rocket League later this year. In other news, I never knew there were crates in Rocket League to begin with.
Oh yeah, it was the full-on CS system of getting a crate. You got the crate and then you needed a key.
Oh
yeah, it was full on.
Cool.
And then there was some keys got unlocked. Full on, if you know CSGO's loot system or crate system,
then you know
it was
one.
Very have very shades or same shades of gray there.
This will be replaced with a system that shows the exact items that you're buying in advance. And then, of course, Psyonix equated this to the changes that were implemented earlier this year by Fortnite Save the World. Rocket Pass Premium, DLC, and esports shop items will continue to be offered for direct purchase.
Yep.
So there you
go. Yeah, Epic probably stepped in there
a
little bit. In a good way, though.
And loot boxes. The ESA has worked with... Let me get the exact quote here. The ESA says that Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo have agreed to disclose the drop rates of in-game items from loot boxes in new games. This comes from Makina Kelly of The Verge. What is this? By the end of 2020. So you will know... Huh.
By the end of 2020, so like not like new as in like next month new.
Yeah, no. Why?
I would love to see drop rates in like those Ultimate Team games at EA.
Yeah.
Would love to see. I mean, even MLB The Show to an extent, but
yeah, that's
because that's their moneymaker in their sports games. They lean so heavily into it that I think once people see some drop rates, they're like, "What the fuck?"
I wonder what it would be like for the. That is a fucked up system, man. It's a real fucked up system.
The fucked up thing, and this is what MLB The Show does better, is once you get the card, it's yours to keep. Ultimate Team, you have to like keep buying contract cards or acquiring contract cards somehow to keep the card valid to be able to use in game. Like you can keep the card, but you wouldn't be able to use that card as like a player in an actual game. It's fucked.
I saw an intern at work was watching some fucking FIFA player opening card packs, and the dude opened like the rarest card in the game, but couldn't keep it for whatever reason. I don't know if it was because it was a duplicate. For whatever reason, like couldn't keep it and just had to like scrap. I don't remember the thing, but he's like, oh, that sucks. He's got to get rid of it. And I was like, what do you mean he's got to get rid of it? And he was like, well, because, and he explained it and I already forgot. But whatever it was, couldn't keep the rarest card in the game. I think it was because like you could only have one of them on your team or some shit.
That makes sense for
So-
balancing.
Right. So he couldn't use it because he already had one, but like he couldn't do anything with it. You couldn't be like, well, let's just turn it into fucking a billion powder dust or whatever the hell. They use powder dust. Is that their currency?
No, I think it's just coins.
Well,
It's just
you know.
coins.
Speaking of watching shit on Twitch Studio, going live is going to get a whole lot easier, says Twitch. There's a new beta of Twitch Studio, a new streaming app for streamers that cuts down on the guesswork to set up a quality stream, making it easier to engage with your community. Seems like they should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah, I always thought they should have had something like really built in for all that because I know they had links to like, oh, you can have you can use OBS if you want to use something free, or you can buy XSplit, and I even have trouble with XSplit. My laptop I got for work actually came with like a free year of that or something, or a couple months or something like that, and for some, like, I had trouble understanding it. Maybe I'm just not that, I guess, inclined to learn about it either. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like just going through. I mean, it's fucking Twitch. Like, I feel like it makes sense.
So I mean, hopefully, I don't know. That's going to make it easier on the specs though of your machines or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I know like a lot of like the Prime. Well, not Prime in that sense, but like the mega stars on Twitch, a lot of them like have a dedicated tower just to run the stream, and then it goes off their other tower that they're using for their games or that feeds into their PlayStation or whatever they're playing at the time. So,
damn,
I don't know, that shit gets real complicated real quick.
Yeah,
I've toyed around with that idea since the new graphics card, and it's like I don't know how much I'm going to be sacrificing from my machine if I really dove in with that stuff.
I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense in a way. I mean, like, I guess most people would just want to do everything in one computer, not have multiple. But I guess, if you're like console streaming or something, I guess it makes sense you would have one computer.
Right.
And that is your streamer. And then whatever. But most shit's like built in now anyway, right? Like Twitch through PlayStation.
The consoles have it built in.
Xbox, Mixer.
It's not as quite as clear cut.
Nintendo, nothing.
PC.
And usually, on the console side of it, like it's not as robust as what you're going to be able to do with something like XSplit or OBS or even the Elgato stuff.
And it depends on what kind of console you have too. Like you can't go 1080p, I don't think, unless you have a Pro. Or is it 1080p 60?
I think it's 1080 60. You can go 1080, but not 60.
Yeah.
You also cannot play DayZ if you live in Australia. As of soon or now?
I'm gonna guess soon.
I'm gonna say probably now.
I mean, yeah.
It may have
At
already...
this point, it's probably now.
No thanks. I'll pass on taking a survey to win $7,500. Appreciate it.
Oh man,
That could have been good money to fund FCW, but it's all right. Fine.
So the game was banned over illicit or prescribed drug use related to incentives or rewards. The report states that through general gameplay, the player is able to collect and use a variety of equipment, supplies, and weaponry. One of the options to restore the player's health is a marijuana joint labeled cannabis, which is denoted by a cannabis bud in the player's inventory. So, yeah. Australia don't like weed.
that's like one of the more, I guess, tame ones out there. But
well, what's interesting is it's banned. However, some users have noted that the weed's not even in the game.
wait, then why is this a thing?
I guess the idea is that they wanted it to be in the game, but
And somebody in Australia just got a hold of that information and were like, nah.
Yeah, it's been found in the files of like the test servers and stuff. But yeah, so the classification board blocked the physical sale of DayZ. Is basically what this resulted in.
I bet all they have to do is just like change a couple assets and then
Yeah, call it Banabas.
done.
Done. Testing will soon begin on an unannounced Resident Evil game. We've learned after Capcom has put out a call for testers.
And like, part of me is like, It's funny because they mentioned during the whole promoting of 2 that they were working on 3.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're saying this one is unnamed, so I don't know if it's a different game
I think it's
or
just unannounced. It could be 3. They haven't officially announced 3.
Right.
Much like they said 2, but they never officially announced 2.
Right.
Could be 8 as well.
So official
Then a
just
couple
in the
years
sense
from
that
7.
like there isn't a trailer, even though they have talked about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like how Sony hasn't announced the PlayStation 5, but Mark Cerny has talked about what the PlayStation 5 will be. And we know what that console kind of will be.
Okay.
It's just that Sony as a corporation has not stated, hey, PlayStation 5. Yeah. So...
Well, then all signs point to 3 for me.
Do you think that is something that we see more of at Gamescom? This Resident Evil game.
No.
Well, Capcom does try to aim for January for their big hits.
And we don't know what the January big hit is.
Right.
We know Iceborne's coming next month.
Though I would like to see Resident Evil kind of do more of a... Maybe do 8 before doing 3, because I don't want 2 remakes in a row. But at the same time, I don't know. Unless they're both in the same year.
Think about
But
the way that Mortal Kombat was announced and released within 4 or 5 months. Like, we could very much be in that cycle of marketing and PR. The marketing budgets come way down when you have a shorter span. You know what I mean? Like, you think about those things. They very well could announce a game in the next week or two at Gamescom, put it out in January as a big, huge title.
I mean, for all we know, it's already been worked on.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
It's Gamescom is Jeff Keighley's just having like this massive like keynote thing at Gamescom, right? Or is that what it is? Or is it just
He's
Gamescom
doing
has
like a
keynote?
stream during it.
Because it used to be a thing where, like, sort of like E3, like PlayStation would have a press conference.
Yeah, but Jeff's thing, if I remember it correctly, it was more like anybody who does like announcements, you can now like interact with those people during the stream.
So what is the event happening at Gamescom? Or is it just like is there any kind of major keynote?
Not that I know of outside
That's
of...
not going to get announced there then.
You don't think? His thing is the major thing, though, I think. Like, he's partnering with, not the ESA,
So
but
he's
like
having like a Game Awards thing minus the actual awards part.
yeah. Like, I think it's...
Kind of like I did for E3 as the YouTube thing that he
I think
does
it's
during
bigger than that, though.
Well, yeah, but I
Yeah,
just mean like,
He could
he's always
do it
partnering
there.
with shit.
Because if you think of 7 was announced on PlayStation stage.
Mm-hmm.
2 was announced via trailer on PlayStation stage or event or whatever. PlayStation was at E3, so it makes sense if they didn't want to show it there because they don't have the agreement with Xbox or whoever else.
Kojima's gonna be there.
And then if they do it at this thing, but then slap like a PlayStation logo in the front of it or the back of it, that could be how you signal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's been a very strange year.
I don't think it's 3. It'd be way too. I feel like that'd be like kind of milking the cash cow again.
Yeah, like I agree. Like I would hope we're moving forward. Like I would want 8, or either way, I would want Jill. But
I think you need to cool off of the success of 2 because I feel like if you're asking $60 the following year for Raccoon City again, I know it's different parts of Raccoon City, but it's essentially the same game, kind of weird. In a different
that's right.
way.
See, I never played 3, so
in a different way. So I think that's a tough ask to have it be. It was 60, right, or was it 40? Was it 2? 60?
It was 60, yeah.
It'd be tough to ask for 60 again. I think it needs to be 8.
It was full ass. Speaking of Jeff Keighley and Kojima, Death Stranding is no longer listed as a PlayStation 4 exclusive. This article, or this little piece of news, ran the gambit this week. Everyone's got a hot take on it. What do you think? Error or PC reveal?
I could have always swore that this game was coming to PC at some point.
Yeah, so there were things that popped up in the wake of this that talked about how way back when it was first brought out, the idea is that the project would come to PC. It was basically there was a Q&A that Kojima Productions stated the project that it was working on would come to PC after a stretch on PlayStation. That was the response to that. But then after you started seeing how closely Kojima was working with PlayStation on this game, it seemed unlikely that would actually make it to PC. But now, who knows? Don't know.
I mean, to me, it's just like, I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah.
By any means. I mean, I feel that's just kind of, most games will eventually, that's what happens. Even if they're a console exclusive at some point, they eventually make their way to PC.
Yeah.
Like,
not
sure.
PlayStation's games.
Well, yeah, no, Matt's right. Yeah, the first party stuff is the key there. If it's like Sony owned studios, those things don't come over to PC. Like an Uncharted, a Last of Us.
What about Soul Reaver?
I don't think that was first party.
Wasn't
Sony.
that
That was
Square,
Eidos.
Well,
I think it was before Square owned
But yeah, it was
Eidos.
Okay, but we're talking like Jack and Daxter and
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
stuff
Naughty
like
Dog.
Sony owned studios
Yeah.
will not. And that was the thing. Is like this was very much like, okay, well, Sony doesn't own Kojima, so this is probably going to come to PC because everything does.
Yeah.
But then just seeing that close relationship with Guerrilla Games, it was like, oh, well, maybe it won't now. Maybe part of the, you know what I mean? Like, kind of assumed it would just be a PlayStation game.
I wonder what the funding looks like, because wasn't the Rise of the Tomb Raider deal with Xbox,
Microsoft paid for a good chunk of that.
was it for the game or for just for the advertising?
I thought it was for, I mean, I thought it was,
Like, where did the money go into the development process of it, or did the money just come like, hey, we'll advertise the game,
Because didn't
just slap it as it's exclusive to us for that first year?
I don't know.
Because I think that matters
Both?
here, right? If PlayStation's just doing advertising money, and it just so happened that they agreed on some kind of terms to use that Guerrilla engine,
Right.
but if PlayStation's dumping money into this, it becomes second party, and I don't think they're gonna let.
Well, but Journey just came out on my phone, you know?
Yeah, years later.
I know, but still, like, that was a second party game.
And that
Like,
was after in that game that they got out of that contract. That was very public knowledge that they had three games. You have to look at the money trail and where it's going there. I don't know. I can easily see this being like a Rise of the Tomb Raider thing. It was that game, right? Rise.
Yeah.
What is Dawn? What is
Tomb Raider, Rise, and Shadow.
Shadow? That's it.
All right, our final news story, because I'm getting dizzy and I gotta eat. That's what happens when
Gotta eat checkers.
Bungie announced announced the dates for cross save, which I'm personally super excited for, just to see what this game looks like on PC. That's very loud. So Bungie.net/cross-save is a resource to get yourself set up for cross-save. This launches on August 21st. The basic thing is, you're going to choose a set of characters. Those characters become your cross-save characters. So if you've been playing on PlayStation, if you've been playing on Xbox, if you're playing on a single platform, you can upload those characters to this new kind of account system so that those are your characters wherever you go. You want to download the game on Xbox and just jump there, or PC, whatever, you can jump around from wherever you were. The only way this kind of is if you were someone who had been playing on PlayStation and then had friends on Xbox, so you bought it on Xbox and you have two separate sets of characters, there's no merging process. So if you have two really cool hunters, but they're on different platforms, you got to pick one. In fact, you have to pick a set. You can't just say, well, my hunter and my warlock are on this and my titan's on that, so you can't do that. It's literally like your PlayStation characters are your cross-save characters, or your PC, or it has to be one set of those characters.
Okay.
Which I think for many people that's not an issue, but
Right.
There are people I'm sure that affects.
I've been with one character this entire ride, man.
Same.
Fucking upload them.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna give it a shot. And then you can also on August 20th at Bungie.net/PC Move. That is Bungie.net/PC Move. You can link your PC player accounts, aka link your Bungie account to your Steam account, so that when the game comes out on Steam, you can transfer everything over.
Did they talk about what that looks like if you kind of go backwards in a weird way? So, my character has Forsaken equipment, and it's through Forsaken.
Yep.
If I was to go to PC, I only own a base copy of that game.
Yep.
What does that look like without Forsaken being bought there?
You still have access to everything. You just can't play the Forsaken content. You can't access the Dreaming City.
Can't do the raid.
You can't do the raid, the daily challenges, those types of things, or whatever they are.
Yeah.
So
no Drifter, no.
Yeah, it's only going to get you up through the year 1 content, which would include Warmind and all that stuff. Warmind and Osiris.
Yeah.
Which that's what I'm going to do. On the 21st, I'm going to get my characters up and over, and I just want to see what it feels like, and then I'll make my decision on, do I spend $35 to get Shadowkeep? Because Shadowkeep will bring.
Didn't Forsaken gate you from multiplayer?
I don't know. We'll find out.
That'd be a bummer.
I'll find out in a couple weeks. I don't think it does. I think you're okay, but yeah.
So cross save is a thing. Is cross play? Did we?
Not yet.
No.
They
Not yet.
want to, and I
Right.
bet that they will by next fall.
Okay.
But that was part of the outline. Is like, hey, this is something. This is the first step toward that. So
I might reconsider then.
the cross save or cross play.
Play.
Yeah.
Didn't
I mean, cross save is I like that idea. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd rather play on my Xbox, but
Well, now you can, right? When New Light comes out on October 1st, you can download that because that is just free to play Destiny. Up through the first thing. So if you just wanted to jump in and do some bullshit, you could totally do that with your PlayStation character.
right.
I know? Didn't this wasn't in the news, but I saw it in passing. Didn't Call of Duty just say that Modern Warfare is going to have PC and not PC,
Mouse and
keyboard? Yeah, mouse and keyboard support on console.
I didn't see that, but that wouldn't.
I'll double check.
You pull
Keep
that
on
up
going,
while
yeah.
I tell everybody you should go over to thefreecheese.com and check out our latest episode of Free Cheese Wrestling. Deception is the name of this month's pay-per-view. Things get dark. The symbiotes are taken over. Will anyone survive the looming threat of the darkness from space? Find out. You can follow us all on Twitter. The Free Cheese is at SomeFreeCheese. Mark is at Aug_Mental. Matt is at MattyIce131. I am at The Free Cheese. That's it.
It is coming.
Boom! Mouse
To
and keyboard
console.
support coming to
I'm
consoles.
trying to see. I think they're considering. I think they're going to shift matchmaking to accommodate for that as well.
Interesting.
So controllers they'll try to keep them with controllers, and mouse and keyboard players will stay with mouse and keyboard players.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Cool. Well, we'll be back next week with another episode of the Free Cheese Podcast.
Oh wait, no, wait. Modern Warfare supports cross-platform play.
Well, yeah, I knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've been not paying attention at all to this game.
Yeah, no, that one they announced earlier this year.
Oh shit!
The mouse and keyboard stuff was new to me, though.
Oh shit! Let me
Yeah.
get this.
Matt's going to get it, and we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, listener, for listening. Until next time.